You are welcome to the Wealthy Continent channel, a channel dedicated to the great people and continent of Africa. Remember, where you find yourself tomorrow is a function of the decisions and actions you take today. On our series, You Are Responsible for Your Life, we're going to be looking at the topic, it is your responsibility and not God's. Sometimes we need to talk about things that sometimes people don't want to talk about. They don't want to put on the table. Now, when it comes to this channel, we're going to put everything on the table, because when there's clarity, you can make decisions. When there's clarity, you know where to go and what to do. You are not confused. When people hear you are responsible for your life, some people say, wow, are you saying God is not responsible? Are you saying that man is all in all? Are you saying that it's all about me? And we want to give clarity to this today. We're not saying God is not responsible. We're talking about the responsibility you and I have that will make our life better, that will transform our life, that will make us an instrument of positivity to the society. I want you to understand something. When we talk about God's responsibility, I want you to know that no man can define it. We see what God can do, but we don't know all of his responsibility. One of the things we know is that he is reliable, he's dependable, he's consistent. When we talk about seasons, no man can bring up a season. When we talk about time, man cannot do it. When we talk about the air that we breathe in, man cannot do it. When we talk about this planet that was created, it's beyond man. There are things that we don't and we can't do anything about. This is God's responsibility. And one of the things you have to know is that when it comes to God's responsibility, he is responsible. It will take a dummy to think that man is all in all. God is doing what he needs to do, and he doesn't need us to remind him to be responsible. When it comes to being responsible, God is responsibility on his own. How the earth functions, the sun, the moon, the rain, the snow, the dry season, the wet season, all those ones are beyond man. You talk about the Atlantic, you talk about the water, you talk about the soil, you talk about growth. That's God's responsibility. And he has never taken leave once. He's always been consistent. So it's not about talking about God's responsibility. God is consistent, so we are not concerned. On this channel, we are not concerned, we are not worried, we are not bothered about God's responsibility, because he will do it. He doesn't need us to remind him. God is not our puppet, that we are the one to decide what he's going to do. We are the one to remind him what he's going to do. He has been doing it before any man was created. He will do it when man have, left this planet. He is consistent. So where is the challenge? The challenge is with the variable, you and I. He has given us time. He has given us life. He has given us energy. He has given us people. He has given us lands. He has given us a lot of things, a mind that is working. He has given us gifts, abilities, potentials. And what he's saying is, I've given you all this. Use them for the service of man. Use them to say that God has blessed me and I'm using this. And that is what we are talking about when we say you are responsible for your life. We are not talking about God at all. God is consistent. Now, if the variable thing he can control the consistent, that's delusion. The person is deceiving themselves. We're talking about you and I. What is expected of us for us to live a beautiful life? What is expected of us for us to live a great life? What is expected of us for us to be able to live a great life and affect our neighbors positively? That is what we're talking about when we mention you are responsible for your life. Now, if you have never been to a farm before, I encourage you to go to one and stand by a farmer and tell the farmer, I'm going to wait for God, and God is going to, plant maize. He's going to grow out. He's going to plant vegetables. He's going to plant rice. There's going to be yam. There's going to be cassava. He's going to do a lot of things, tomatoes. He's going to do a lot of it. God is going to do it. Now, the farmer will look at you and ask, are you in your right mind? Because all these things You have not talked about clearing the field. You have not talked about the season that you need to plant these things. You have not talked about the people you need to use to plant these things. You have not talked about the time for the growth of these things. You have not talked about even after all these things grow, you still need to harvest. The farmer will look at you that this person is not serious. This person doesn't know what they are talking about. Now, the farmer will still need good weather. The farmer will still pray for bumper harvest, but the farmer will do what he needs to do. The same thing applies to building a house. Can you just go on a land and say, yes, God will build it, he will build the land, he will do this, he will do that? And no, the builder will ask you, do you have a plan? What exactly do you want to build? How much is it going to cost? What are the things, the materials you need? What is the design? Now, these are our responsibility. The moment we start to think this way, I can tell you that there's going to be transformation in your life. I can tell you are going to make progress. I can tell you that there's going to be development. Now, some people talk about abroad as if abroad is, a mini heaven. But one thing you have to understand is that the people decided that this is how we're going to live. We're going to be efficient. We want things to improve, and they do so. So you can't compare countries. If some people are not willing to do the right thing and some people are, that is where the difference is made. You can't blame God for greed. You can't blame God if we are not working together. You can't blame God for making poor decisions. You cannot blame God for making, wise, unwise action. You cannot blame God for selfishness. You can't blame God if somebody is not organized. Now, somebody went to a society many years ago and saw that people were getting sick and everything. And he saw within that society that the area was just dirty. Sanitation was so poor. So the person started to educate them that you don't need to put waste here. You need to be clean. We need to be organized. Now, just doing that improved the health situation of a society there because they took action. So before you say, are you not saying that God is not responsible? That is not what we are saying. We are not concerned about God. If there's any concern, it's about you, it's about me. Doing what is right, doing what is required, so that we can enjoy the transformation that we need to enjoy. I want you to remember this. God will not do for man what man is expected to do for himself. Once again, please note, it is your responsibility. It is my responsibility, and it's not God's. If you have been getting value from our video, we'd like you to consider subscribing to this channel, clicking on that like button and sharing with others. Remember, you are a difference maker, and being different is normal. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.